for the beef. You be fucking, ain't fucking on me. Out the window like fuck the police, cause I still ride with it. Roll it up, get high with it. Understand you lie with it. 40 on me outside with it, cause I still got love for the streets. Cop a gun and glove for the beef. You be fucking, ain't fucking on me. Out the window like fuck the police. I still think for Savannah. She know what we doing, I'm planning. You talk to me, but I don't look at the camera. You talk to her, but she don't ever got mad. She tell me she do what she like the most. I do what she like the most. See me here when you turn around, I'm disappearing on you, kinda like a ghost. And I think all these bitches is trifling. Free my cousin middle with life is fucking with this cousin openly. Come on the last time we see them when they was in diapers. Doing the dance if I cracked up my son and I do it crazy. I did it for fun. Police behind me, but I'm on probation. If I get violated, I go on a run. Cause I still ride with it. Roll it up, get high with it. Understand you lie with it. 40 on me outside with it. Cause I still got love for the streets. Cop a gun and glove for the beef. You be fucking, ain't fucking on me. Out the window like fuck the police. Cause I still ride with it. Roll it up, get high with it. Understand you lie with it. 40 on me outside with it. Cause I still got love for the streets. Cop a gun and glove for the beef. You be fucking, ain't fucking on me. Out the window like fuck the police. I still outside with it, cause I still got love for the streets. Got a gun and glove with it. You be fucking, ain't fucking on me. Out the window like fuck the police. I still ride with it. Roll it up, get high. Understand you lying. 40 on me outside, cause I still got love. Got a gun and glove. You be fucking, ain't. Listen, right when I get right here, I'm gonna let y'all get something for y'all. Get out this shit right here. Stop before you hit the corner.
Yo, sure, the police right there. Yo, fuck the police, yo.
Come on, bro. Listen, cuz, do this shit right, my nigga. You feel me?
Stay loud, cuz.
Y'all ready?
Yeah. Go right there.
All right there. Go, get out.
What is going on, everybody? My name is Anais, and I wanted to hop on here and talk to you guys a little bit about job report and tell you guys how I successfully completed it. Also give you guys a couple tips to help you if you're also in the process of completing job report to make it as smooth as possible. I kept like 5 tips in mind while I was doing the job report, just so I can make sure that I'm always staying focused, staying ahead, and always doing my work. Number 1 would be staying focused. I make this number 1 because it's gonna be the hardest one to do, just because you're gonna be living with so many different personalities, and it gets to a point where you get distracted very easily. Make sure you stay focused, and other than that, you'll be fine. Money management. And I say this one because
Run that back, cop.
Bitch, they know how we move. We on it. Bro got a whole lot of 30s like Curry. Fuck with them up, no crew. Wow. These niggas like robbing you dying out probably cause my niggas move. Yo, I want the weenie Kalachi, my young niggas slime me, slide with a broom. I know I get ready to speaking on. Bitch, I'm too cozy, I'm cold with a heat on. She eat the ham, she don't eat belong. And I ain't got a cat, got my strap to Latifah on. Oh, we nigga leave a dome. I'm hiding a bitch in the house with them eaters on. Taking shit like a seizure dome. I can't take a L, so I ride with that steam on. Nigga won't smoke, he can let it be known. We gon' aim for his zone with them motherfucking tools. Don't really come to your show with a whole lot of pose. We can have us a show with all that. Move out. LeBron tryna clean up the floor with a broom. My fans get flued out. You not tryna fuck, then you gotta get through. Get out. If you not tryna go lie for your nigga or die for your nigga, stop it. He need a lawyer and he facing that, so I told him I got it. You tryna beat by the bitch with no guap in your pocket, boy, you need a wallet. I'm facing woods, why she give me that noggin? She ain't be good, see the wood and she toxic. I'm in the hood, in the jug in Versace. Get behind much, you can't view when she topping. Now I don't know how she can't fuck like she popping. Can't let the stove serving bowls like an oxy. You don't know I'm cold with my flow like I'm mopping. Whole lot of hoes got a whole lot of body. Hey, LeBron got all sort of body. Niggas know like a porta body, cause they know I'm with the shit like a porta potty. I been out with a naughty nose. Bro, hit him up like his nose like a snotty nose. Did the shit like a potty hole. All of my you know done with no body flow. I ain't stealing no body flow. You niggas is gay with the naughty nose. Niggas done with the naughty nose. I just got a little diamonds from Johnny though. I be smoking on pressure. Nigga play with that game, we gon' give him the leather. We pulling up like a sweater. I be smoking OG, got stuck to the leather. I don't give a fuck about none of these hoppers. We be outside trying to duck from the coppers. Bro, in the field posted up with them choppers. Hop out on this block, chop it up like Baraka. Smoking OG, niggas know that. Hopping out, I'ma bop on the bitch like I'm Kodak. I smoking gas, you didn't know that. Nigga, I'm on the sun, they ain't doing the throwback. I'm on the fuck on the throwback. I was clutching the Glock in my motherfucking throwback. But you niggas already know that. Lil' bro in the field with them choppers. I bet and he blow that game. Hey.
Hello, my name's Jack Howard and I'm going to show you how I use Fiverr to support my work as a person who creates things for a living. So if you want to take your business online, this is a video for you. I'm a filmmaker, YouTuber, podcaster. Look, stick an at the end of it and I'll give it a go. But something that I've never been able to get the hang of is graphic design. Case in point, this is my banner on YouTube and has been since 20...
What I cop, you can't cop in the stores. Can't compete cause your clip full of hoes. A whole lot of drip, spit a brick on my toes. And the bro them gon' hit up his home. If I come up right now, I'm investing in pole. I been running up bands for the stamina. Don't get X tryna play for that camera. Lot of mods in the crib like a janitor. That bitch know I'm a vet, not an amateur. BS1 diamonds colder than Canada. Got a whole lot of rages on rages like Pamela. We gon' spend every day on the calendar. Keep fighting this bitch like you pissed off, you managed. We gon' wake that bitch up, get a raincoat. Is you niggas gon' slide? I don't think so. Go a whole lot of places you can't go. Poke a whole lot of bitches you can't poke. Drive a whole lot of horses you can't smoke. Work off a purse, you gon' fuck for a bankroll. I be kicking this shit out my A-hole. S.A. the hardest, he feeling like peso. Get the cheese and dip like queso. Side with the Glock on the block like a Lego. Tryna flex with some shit she ain't pay for. A young nigga 4 foot tall with a Draco. They no quit dropping racks on the say-so. T-Bo gon' hunt like he Dora Diego. Hit him up, then we act like we ain't know. Hella bro do his thing while I lay low. In the city, got young niggas sold up. I just walked in the yo and I'm pulled up. Niggas envy, look queen, niggas so what? Hella wrong, drop the top with the doors up. I got back on their ass when I blowed up. Used to rock with them niggas, I growed up. Niggas fragile and soft, they'll fold up. Got this shit on my own, I don't own nothing. In the city, got young niggas sold up. I just walked in the yo and I'm pulled up. Niggas envy, look queen, niggas so what? Hella wrong, drop the top with the doors up. I got back on their ass when I blowed up. Used to rock with them niggas, I growed up. Niggas fragile and soft, they'll fold up. Got this shit on my own, I don't own nothing. Back to back, touch your sticks on the road. Ball like Brown should've went to the pros. What I cop, you can't cop in the stores. Can't compete cause your clip full of hoes. A whole lot of drip, spit a brick on my toes. And the bro them gon' hit up his home. If I come up right now, I'm investing in pole. I been running up bands for the stamina. Don't get X tryna play for that camera. Lot of mods in the crib like a janitor. That bitch know I'm a vet, not an amateur. BS1 diamonds colder than Canada. Got a whole lot of rages on rages like Pamela. We gon' spend every day on the calendar. Keep fighting this bitch like you pissed off, you managed.
Back to back, steady buzzing that bow. I got work like I'm living at Lowe's. When I die, bury me in my gold. All these niggas gon' pay what they owe. If you don't, might as well hang yourself on a rope. He only did it like 8 or 9 shows. How the fuck does these young niggas keep getting dope? Tuesday ain't never been out the country, but Tuesday whole fit is from Burberry, London. Like a nigga that ain't got no legs. I promise Lil Tuesday ain't doing no running. When Tuesday was down on his dick, he went got him a peasy and then started hustling. Asked 2G and B with a business. I got this shit set up like I broke a button. Back then this shit wasn't easy. You wanted some heat, had to cut on the oven. When I get to think about all of that shit, I just sit back and smoke by the dozen. As long as my people straight, I can give a fuck about getting a Grammy or buzzing. I gotta stay down and be humble. I know how it feel when you never had nothing.
Back to back, touch your sticks on the road. Ball like Brown should've went to the pros. What I cop, you can't cop in the stores. Can't compete cause your clip full of hoes. A whole lot of drip, spit a brick on my toes. And the bro them gon' hit up his home. If I come up right now, I'm investing in pole. I been running up bands for the stamina. Don't get X Canada. That bitch know I'm a vet, not an amateur. BS1 diamonds colder than Canada. Got a whole lot of ratchets on ratchets like Pamela. We gon' spend every day on the calendar. Get fighting this bitch like you pissed off your manager.
Everyone is searching for the right fit and the opportunity to make a difference, where friendships are formed and students always come first. On campus and online, this can be your right fit. We are Kaiser University.
Get trained in less than a year at Motorcycle Mechanics Institute. Prepare to become a motorcycle technician and work on brands like Harley-Davidson, Honda, Kawasaki, and more. What are you waiting for? Take the first step today.
Low-key, I'm the hardest little nigga that came in this hoe. And I got a name in the fall. I was broke, but it feel like I made it before. Quentin too cold, could've came with a coat. Wet that bitch up, should've came with a boat. But anyway, y'all really came with a scope. I was getting off them bottles and it gave me some hope. I promise. A whole lot of choppers, a whole lot of money with me. Niggas dissing on us really funny to me. I was broke in the bitch like nothing to eat. I just fuck on that hoe, then I fucking repeat. I know niggas mad that they fucking with me. She a diamond that boy, but she ugly to me. Ran the racks, but this money ain't nothing to me. That boy silent and he don't speak. Now that boy violent and he gon' tweet. Take her to the island and she gon' freak. Low-key, I be vibing, don't need no beat. One thing for sure, it ain't on me, it's in me. Still from the folk, gotta dump in some diggies. These niggas broken, they city. I'm far from a sucker, but she wanna lick me. I cannot walk in the show with no blicky. Play around with us and it won't end pretty. Slap like a hoe just for thinking it's friendly. A whole lot of racks, I can never be picky. Rolling up runs in the yo and it's sticky. Think I'm a hoe, get small like Philly. Standing on 10 case, a nigga won't give me. Chop up my little came with some titties. Low-key, I'm the hardest little nigga that came in this hoe. And I got a name in the fall. I was broke, but it feel like I made it before. Quentin too cold, could've came with a coat. Wet that bitch up, should've came with a boat. But anyway, y'all really came with a scope. I was getting off them balls and it gave me some hope. A whole lot of choppers, a whole lot of money with me. Niggas dissing on us really funny to me. I was broke in the bitch like nothing to eat. I just fuck on that hoe, then I fucking repeat. I know niggas mad that they fucking with me. She a diamond that boy, but she ugly to me. Ran the racks, but this money ain't nothing to me. I'ma tell y'all something niggas didn't know. Niggas talking and giving out info. And this hoe wanna fuck on Lil Quincho. She get thrown cause it's mud on the window. My bitch only hang with a kinfolk. She come clutch when it's time for the window. I turn her house white to the nympho. Know they plotting, so I keep a stick close. We're hottest, these bitch niggas know that. They put in my food when they throw that. How you rapping behind and they blow that? We don't message, just dump it and pour that. Sippin' drinks, so don't pass me the Moet. Thick pockets, they bigger than 4X. I've been rapping 3 years and I'm on it. Slap a nigga long range, free Kodak. Low-key, I'm the hardest little nigga that came in this hoe. And I got a name in the fall. I was broke, but it feel like I made it before. Quentin too cold, could've came with a coat. Wet that bitch up, should've came with a boat. But anyway, y'all really came with a scope. I was getting off them balls and it gave me some hope. A whole lot of choppers, a whole lot of money with me. Niggas dissing on us really funny to me. I was broke in the bitch like nothing to eat. I just fuck on that hoe, then I fucking repeat. I know niggas mad that they fucking with me. She a diamond that boy, but she ugly to me. Ran the racks, but this money ain't nothing to me.
You ever had a dream one you'd be willing to do anything for? Who does your hair? Me? Clients swear the stuff is magic.
I have a challenge for all of you. Go to every computer in your house, your mom's, your dad's, your sister, your brother's computer, and install Honey. Wait, Mom, before you check out, do you have Honey installed?
What's Honey?
Oh, no. It's a free browser add-on that automatically applies coupon codes when you check out online.
So what's the catch?
There is no catch. My mom wants to buy these 3 jackets online. They cost $639. Before you check out, Mom, can you just open a new tab and then type in joinhoney.com. Now just click add to Chrome. Perfect, now hit apply coupon code. Give Honey 5 seconds and boom! It found a coupon code for $221. We're literally about to check out without Honey. That is a sin. Install Honey. It's free and only takes 2 clicks to install. There's no reason not to go to joinhoney.com right now on every computer in your house.
Since it's just the time with a kickstand, thinking of a plan to get quick bands. Falling in need with a quicksand. Flag on my ass, no quick run. I was packing on the pound, got my weight up. Hot beef in the streets, had to stay up. Betty Crocker show me how to bake a cake, bro. Doing that with everything I never stick, bro. Since it's just the time with a kickstand, thinking of a plan to get quick bands. Falling in need with a quicksand. Flag on my ass, no quick run. I was packing on the pound, got my weight up. Hot beef in the streets, had to stay up. Betty Crocker show me how to bake a cake, bro. Doing that for everything I love to steak, bro. Back in the day, man, a nigga had ripped jeans. Couldn't afford a new pair, I had broke shoes. Couldn't think about the money, I had broke dreams. Outfit was the match of a crack fiend. I was trying to be fly, couldn't take off. Clothes falling on my ass, lost weight, dog. No jacket in the winter, had to shake, dog. Then I said, fuck it, cause something gon' have to shake, dog. Then my nigga Bobby put me on the quick lick. Wasn't alive, but enough for a quick fix. Interception, I was feeling, call me a big six. And it's no bitch, roll, bitch, it was brick dick. Never kill, I ain't gonna lie, I was tempted. He was a target, but he lucky that I missed it. I was always fucking up, was a misfit. My opportunity was knocking and I missed it. Young when I hopped off the stoop, 2 doors when I flew over, hop in the coupe. 2 swords from a wall, but I couldn't lose. Got scars from bruises, man, I got the proof. Resemble you still, cause I got the juice. You think you too park, let our mark ass loose. Step in on that with my tumbling moves. I'm planning, I'm stable, I'm growing in roots. Since it's just the time with a kickstand, thinking of a plan to get quick bands. Falling in need with the quicksand. Flag on my ass, no quick run. I was packing on the pound, got my weight up. Hot beef in the streets, had to stay up. Betty Crocker show me how to bake a cake, bro. Doing that with everything I love to stick, bro. Since it's just the time with a kickstand, thinking of a plan to get quick bands. Falling in need with the quicksand. Flag on my ass, no quick run. I was packing on the pound, got my weight up. Hot beef in the streets, had to stay up. Betty Crocker show me how to bake a cake, bro. Doing that with everything I love to stick, bro. I remember chillin' at one of my little bitch crib. About the full, about the nut, man, cause what the fixins. A nigga came through, he was on some bitch shit. Didn't know I was raw, my hands so gifted. Boy, how me try, had to get him a mix quick. Couple knocks made him drop like he drunk or he lifted. Fought another nigga after I thought was some kinship. Throwing up both of our sets was ended the friendship. Gave respect neck to neck, my nigga didn't back down. Had him standing up, then he ended the back down. His hands in my life, now they ended up flat now. Flat like a wing, let's see if he flat now. Had enough, it put up when it lasted for 1 round. KD on the bench, equipped with the tray pound. Made him run, it was funny, but scared of the gun sound. Made him shit, he a bitch while the car, he was duck down. I ain't got no time for the fakes. The phonies, the bronies that I saw the J's. My homies, the only who come past the gate. I'm whacking and we cutting heads off of snakes. I'm hungry, I'm eating right off fucking plate. I won't eat, I'm on it, it's my fault to take. I'm stagnant, I'm magnet, I'm staying in place. The reason I'm popping is all up for hate. Since it's just the time with a kickstand, thinking of a plan to get quick bands. Falling in need with the quicksand. Flag on my ass, no quick run. I was packing on the pound, got my weight up. Hot beef in the streets, had to stay up. Betty Crocker show me how to bake a cake, bro. Doing that with everything I love to stick, bro. Since it's just the time with a kickstand, thinking of a plan to get quick bands. Falling in need with the quicksand. Flag on my ass, no quick run. I was packing on the pound, got my weight up. Hot beef in the streets, had to stay up. Betty Crocker show me how to bake a cake, bro. Doing that with everything I love to stick, bro.
you say why. It ain't no fighting, it ain't no stopping. Please stick around. Throw the way up on my fist. I do I bust my hip for your affection. Tryna be down. No fighting, stick around. This up is the type of girl that you take over to mama. The type of girl I know you fellas will be proud of. I'll be proud of, I'll be proud of, I'll be proud. You know. So wanna be the type of girl you take over to mama. The type of girl I know you fellas they be proud of. I'll be proud like, I'll be proud like, to be proud of. But you know, adorable girl. Oh, I wish I was a normal girl. Oh baby, it's a normal girl. Oh, I wish I was a normal girl. I said that I never be, no never be yours. You like it when I be progressive. You like when I say to you. So get it if you got it, I'm ready, I'm on it for you, I'm calling to put it on. You like it when I be aggressive. You like when I say do you. Get it if you got it, I'm ready, I'm on it for you, I'm calling to put it on. The type of girl you wanna take it home to mama. I wanna be the type of my daddy he would be proud. I'll be proud. Be proud, you know. You wanna be the type of girl you take over to mama. The type of girl I know you fellas they be proud of. I'll be proud like, I'll be proud like, be proud, be proud. She normal girl. Oh, I wish I was a normal girl. She normal girl. I wish I was a normal girl. I said I never be, no never be there. No, this time next year I'll be living so cool, won't remember your name. I swear, living so good, living so good, living so good. This time next year I'll be living so cool, won't remember no pain. I swear. Or people that they figure out I am just no more. Normal girl, what do you say now? Quit on the world cause it ain't going your way now. Quit on yourself cause you're scared to find a way out. Say normal girl. Say how do you be so normal? I wish I was. I'll never be a normal girl. I said no, I'll never be my brother. I still type of girl you wanna take up. Wish I make my daddy proud of. Never be. To people that'll figure out I am just a normal girl. Never be my people that they figure out I am just a normal girl.
From the end of this game.
Jason Tatum in call bank. Skip, if I know it's the first game, and I don't want to be overreact to just one game, but Skip, this should be concerning. If I get 87 from my big three, which is Giannis, Chris Middleton, and Holiday. Giannis was 35 and 13. Middleton was 27 and 14, and Holiday was 25 and 6. So I got 87 points, 33 rebounds. I shot 14, made 14 threes. I was better from the floor. I out-rebounded this smallest Celtics team by 15, and I still lost. Skip, now Not for one second. When Giannis went to the line, give it now for 1 second, then I thought this game was going to overtime. Now for 1 second, I was like, oh man, Giannis got this thing. That wasn't KD or Steph or something. I didn't think for 1 second that this game was going to go to overtime. And he went up there and switched that first one, and I know everybody been walking, oh yeah, he got this one. But did you see how short that thing came up on that second one? I thought it was my TV. That was his knees knocking like that, Skip. I thought something was going on.
Barely drew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, but look, Milwaukee's not going away. Giannis was sensational in the fourth quarter, 18 points in the fourth quarter. And they have a good team, Skip. But man, when you get 87 points from your big three with 33 rebounds and you lose a game, but also, Skip, not to get off too much off topic, if I'm Boston, I'm not giving up Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum for James Harden, Skip. I'm just not. They're too young. They're too talented. And you got a situation, Skip, because they haven't been tainted or had someone, well, maybe they have, that has someone in there that's like, okay, I'm big time and I should get this, this, and this, have security, I got no problem with that, have my own training stuff, got no problem with that, but don't be late for meeting, hold the plane up, hold this and hold that up. They haven't been contaminated yet. I'm holding on to those guys. But this is going to be, the East is going to be a great conference this year, but Milwaukee, man, 87-33 and you lose, that's got to be frustrating.
I would say. Okay, I saw it very differently than you did because I saw a Celtics team lead this game going into the fourth quarter 101-84 because of those kids you talked about who are still kids to me, but they've been around a while now. And so what my takeaway was from this game is it didn't change my view of the Celtics or Giannis in any way, shape, or form. It actually just reinforced both. I still don't see Jason Tatum as a superstar, as that guy who can do that thing when you need it done. I don't see killer will. I don't see supreme clutchness from any of the younger Celtic stars. They're stars, but they're not superstars.
They're coming, Skip.
Okay, but the only one I say has got that dog in him is Marcus Smart, who happened to play 38 minutes last night and go 0 for 3 from the field. So he's got the makeup. He has the intangibles. He just doesn't have enough tangibles to go with the intangibles, right? Okay. So they're up 101-84. You have to close that deal fairly easily. And instead, they let Greek Freak go freak on him in the fourth quarter, as you point out. Right. He got loose. He goes for 18. He makes 7 of 10 shots. They could not deal with him. He made 2 out of 4 from the three-point line in the fourth quarter.
You give him that. You give him that.
But when he makes a couple like that, you're like, uh-oh, here we go. And here they came. And Chris Middleton had a big fourth quarter with 10 more points. And so all of a sudden, they get in a position to perhaps win the game. And yet, Jason Tatum has the ball, and he's been having a pretty tough time in the fourth quarter because he has taken 2 3-point shots and missed both of them badly.
Right.
And to your point, he missed this one badly because Giannis was all over him with that length of his.
Yes.
He lunges at him and makes him change his shot in sort of mid-shot, and he misses this thing by 3 feet left. And he misses it high off the glass, but it's so high off the glass, it drops straight through the bucket.
Yep.
He did not call glass. The bank just happened to be open, and he stumbled into the bank and took away a big deposit because it looked like that was the game winner, and it did prove to be the game winner, right? Okay, now let's go to Giannis. I felt like ball don't lie because as lucky as that shot was, Giannis got a call that you shouldn't get at the end of a game. It's like a Hail Mary pass into the end zone at the end of an NFL game. You just let them play.
Right.
You don't call anything. Nobody calls anything.
Right.
And Tristan Thompson did impede him with his right arm. He sort of elbowed into him a little bit. Here it is. I don't know. I don't see it, but they gave Giannis this call. He pushed him a little bit right there, but the ball was already gone. I don't know. I don't see it. I wouldn't have called it. But he got the quote-unquote makeup call because obviously Jason didn't call bank. So
Right.
Ball didn't lie. Ball said, okay, Giannis, we give you a reprieve. We send you to the free throw line. And the first guy I thought of was your man, LeBron James.
He made both of them.
This is his worst nightmare.
He made both
is
of them.
standing there all alone at the free throw line. You're completely solo. You have no help. You have no excuse. It's just you and the rim from 15 feet away. And it's going to be sink or swim. And you better sink both of them to go to overtime. And I do not believe LeBron would have made those free throws because he is the worst superstar late game, close game free throw shooter in history. And as I told you the other day,
you're probably right in a situation like that because it's not the playoffs. We need to be magnified. We need to be times 10.
Okay. I told you the other day that since he's come into the league in that situation, late game, close game, he's missed 15 free throws. He's 21 of 36, which is just horrible. These are game closers.
Hold up. How we get on LeBron? We talking about Giannis.
Well, I was just saying, you said that he would have made those, but I don't think he would have made those. And by the way, he has 15 misses. That's 7 more than the next on the list, J.R. Smith. So the point is, Giannis and LeBron both have one, to me, sort of quote-unquote fatal flaw as far as greatness is concerned, and that is you have to make clutch late free throws. All the great ones could make their free throws in the beginning of the game or the end of the game. And they're both, Giannis is a career 72% free throw shooter, but his problem is the last 4 years in a row, he has sunk in free throw percentage. Yeah. He had 77% 4 years ago, which is, okay, here we go, that'll work. Yeah. And all of a sudden, he dipped all the way to 63% last year. LeBron is a 73% career, which is not bad, but he was 69% last year. Not good. Not up to his standards as you call him the GOAT.
Right.
Okay, so here comes Giannis. Down, down, down. And again, you do have, I know it was a short off season, but these are things that are fixable to me. You can fix your free throw shooting if you work hard enough. Does he work hard enough? I have no idea. Do you if you need some sort of shot doctor counseling, if you need some sort of therapy on your free throw shooting, if you need an analyst to help you with your concentration or your routine as you set up. But there was no way he was going to make the second free throw, and he almost airballed it.
Well, Skip, I think the thing is because there's so much for him to work on his shot. He's got to get a mid-range. He's got to get better from the three. He's got to get better at posting up. And so he got to get better at the free throw. So normally, guys, they're pretty good at a lot of different things, and they don't have to work on everything. They pick one particular thing and work extensively on that. Well, because he's deficient in so many offensive areas, Skip, what the hell is he going to just work on? He works on his three, and then now his free throw percentage, free throws go neglected. Yeah. What about his mid-range game? So basically, he's going to have to, he just got to work on a lot of different areas, basically from the 3-point to the free throw.
I got it. And look, I know in perspective, Shaquille O'Neal was a lousy free throw shooter at 7 feet. What is he, 1 inch tall?
Yes.
And we know Dwight has struggled notoriously from the free throw line. We can go back to Wilt Chamberlain and all the really tall guys. So I'll put Giannis in that category, even though he's not quite set with, what do we call him, 6'11"?
Yeah, 6'11",
There is a 7-footer in Philadelphia, and we're going to talk about him versus Russell Westbrook next. But what I love about Joel Embiid, his saving grace for all of his antics off the floor that I don't love, he can make his free throws at, what do we call him, 7 feet tall?
Yeah.
He's 7 feet. 2 years ago, he shot 80%. Last year, he upped it to 81%. And last night, in their opener, he made 8 out of 9. He is really good because it looks right from the free throw line. He has a nice form and touch.
Normally, as the guys get bigger, the free throw percentage come down. It's an anomaly. You know, Kareem was a good free throw shooter. Yao Ming was an excellent free throw shooter. But normally, the bigger guys, maybe their hands are too big or whatever it is, Skip, their form, they just struggle from the free throw line.
And that could be LeBron also. Hands are just too big, and you can't quite get the right feel and motion.
Well, Kawhi making his free throw, but that's okay.
He does. He makes them. He's 85%.
But you need to leave LeBron out of this. LeBron would have. We've already been there. We've seen LeBron make those free throws. You saw him in the NBA Finals, right? NBA Finals, he made a free throw that put him up by 4 and closed it. Shut it down.
Did he have to make one to force overtime? No.
We made the block that would have won them the game.
Okay. After Kyrie made the shot that won.
That was before the shot.
The block was a bicycle built for two. He got help from J.R. Smith, who cut Iggy off the pass and made him pull up and shoot a layup instead of dunking it. Thank you.
So, in other words, to make a long story short, you feel exactly the same this morning as you felt going into last night. The Celtics are who they are, the Milwaukee is who they are, and you don't have confidence in Giannis.
I don't have big confidence in Giannis in the biggest moments. That he is the classic superstar. He is obviously, when you're winning MVPs back-to-back and you're defensive player of the year, you're a superstar.
Yes.
Do you trust him when it really matters? You do not. What's happened in the last two playoffs? Shrank.
But and another thing, how do you even get that when your guys got these kind of numbers? How the hell you even down 17?
Good question. Okay, and I give you respect for you fought all the way back and had a chance to win the game, but you didn't win the game because you can't do that. You have one Achilles heel at the free throw line.
Well, they'll have to get more than 12 points from their bench. Let's start with that.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to skip 12 points is not going to cut it.
Yeah.
Because you look at what the Celtics got from their benches, I mean, they almost tripled them up.
Although Drew Holiday, as a newcomer to that starting lineup, he sure looked good.
Yeah.
10 of 16.
Yeah.
It's 25 points. I don't know. That was pretty good.
Yeah,
you look like a nice new addition.
Yes.
Right?
Now, if they could have got Bogdan.
Might have helped.
Oh, it definitely would have helped.
Okay.
But, hey.
Okay.
Giannis, I was like, man, Giannis ain't making both of these free throws.
So, you know what? I disagree with your final takeaway about those kids, those stars. I think I would close my eyes if I'm Danny Ainge and I would do James Harden. I would. I don't know how many you'd have to give up.
I ain't giving up any.
Boy, I don't know.
Mm-mm. I give Jeff Teague.
Well, I'm afraid that won't get it done.
I give Jeff Teague, Carson Edwards, and 2 first rounders. They don't want that?
He didn't even play last night.
He didn't.
Okay.
Skip, those guys that you mentioned, they're under 26. They're 26 and under. I'm not giving that up.
They going to win you a championship?
James Harden ain't going to win what James Harden won.
I don't know.
Toronto plunged because they had seen Kawhi's resume.
Mm-hmm.
Kawhi's done that. Well, you just told me James Harden cracks in the biggest moments.
Mm-hmm.
So you want him to crack it in Boston? Do you understand the pressure that comes along with playing in Boston and championships?
I do. And you think he'd give you a little better shot.
In the East? With who? If you trade one of those guys, you believe James Harden and Jason Tatum, or James Harden and Brown is going to be able to challenge the Nets.
If you could keep Jason Tatum with James Harden, you'd have a shot.
In a way. Skip, did we see how think about how Jason Tatum played with Kyrie. And James Harden is more ball dominant than Kyrie. And look how Jason Tatum played once Kyrie was injured or once Kyrie left.
Okay. I don't love the killer will of Jason Tatum or James Harden, but help me out. Better player, James Harden or Jason Tatum? Forget the intangibles. Better player.
Better player?
It's James
Harden. Better team player? Jason Tatum. And that's what it's going to take to win a championship.
Listen, James Harden has won a lot of basketball games in this league.
Not the games.
Okay, he has not. But he got you to the games. He got you in position to win it all.
You just told me last week he had the most turnovers in NBA, and
he's had about 3 big flameouts, maybe 4.
And you told me how he just gagged against your Spurs.
Okay, but are you now it's up against Jason Tatum. Who's better?
James Harden is a better player, but if I'm trying to build a championship-winning team, I'm taking Jason Tatum because I believe they just need another piece, Skip. But I'm not breaking that duo up. I'm sorry.
I did not hear Jason Tatum call bank, and I don't think you did either.
No, he didn't call bank.
Oh, okay. All right,
but you were loving Jason Tatum when he did that number on the Lakers last year. You were loving him then.
Come on. All right. Okay. Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.
Kyrie Irving has refused to talk to the media on several occasions this week, and now he and the Nets have been fined $25,000 because of it. Now, Kyrie issued a brief statement in an attempt to make sure his message is, quote, properly conveyed. The league, however, did not see this as fulfilling his media obligations. So this morning, Kyrie posted on social media why he chose not to speak and finished it by saying, quote, I do not talk to pawns. My attention is worth more. So, Shannon, whose side are you on here?
I told you it was just going to be a matter of time, Skip. It was just going to be a matter of time. I knew this was coming. But you know what? Kyrie don't got to talk, but he got to pay. You ain't got to say a word, but I'm going to fine you. It's $25,000. The next time you don't talk, it's $50,000. The next time you don't talk, it's $100,000 and $200 and $400. I'm gonna make it so cost prohibitive you have no talk. I'm gonna have to shut you up. You know your obligations. Talk about pawns. He had no problem, Skip. He had no problem talking about we shouldn't be playing. When they was getting ready to go to the bubble, Skip, and he wasn't allowed to go, he had a lot to talk about. 2 months ago, when LeBron James was in the bubble getting ready to play, he had a lot to talk about. Yeah. The guy that's sitting next to me now, I ain't got no problem passing the ball because he gonna hit them clutch shots. Now, all of a sudden, he ain't got nothing to say. But like I said, you ain't got to talk, but you got to pay. Kyrie know he dead wrong for this. He DA on this one. He knows it, Skip. But he gonna issue a statement. So I guess after the game, Skip, here's Kyrie's statement. We played well as a team. We just need to do some things. But come on. Man, Kyrie missed me with this foolishness, man. There's always something with this dude.
And yet, the statement Alex just read is exactly why he doesn't need to talk for his own good to the media, because he always puts sneaker in mouth.
Yes!
How many times has he wrecked his team by throwing it under bus?
Yes.
Going back to the Cavaliers, then to the Celtics, then to the Nets. It's when every time he opens his mouth, he does damage, right?
Yep, every time he opens his mouth, here's another toe popping out because he got his foot in his mouth, Skip. Okay. Every time.
Well, how about this? I do not talk to pawns, so he's calling the media pawns, right? Well, they are your lifeblood. And the last time I checked, you get paid, what's he make, 35, 40 million?
Easy, yeah. He got a max contract, 4 years, 140, something like that.
The reason you can make that kind of money is that your product sells, and it needs marketing by the people who play the game.
Right.
So it's part of the bargain that you talk to the media. It's in your contract.
Yes, absolutely.
Because, as you well know from your days, you were the mouth of the team. You know, and again, it's great promotion because the media wants to hear what Shannon says.
Right.
You're their go-to guy.
Right.
In Denver for all those years, maybe even in Baltimore.
Yeah.
Go-to. What does Shannon say? Well, it helps promote you, but it also really helps sell the product, right?
Yes.
Well, Kyrie needs to learn how to help sell the product instead of destroy the product. So from a team perspective, I can see, well, the team is saying, God, we're glad he just shuts up. But you can't do it for the league's sake, for the ownership's sake, because they need you to speak.
Basically, what Kyrie's saying is that every time I say something, you guys misconstrue what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Skip.
No, we don't.
Thank you. You played 3 years with LeBron James. Arguably one of, if you don't want to say he's the GOAT, you don't want to say he's second best, he's a top 5 player of all time. You played 3 years with him. Here's a guy that you've never played in the NBA with. I think you're on the Olympic team and you played there.
Yep.
You've never played in the NBA with. The guy that you played 3 years with, had won 4 MVPs and 3 titles. I didn't feel comfortable passing the ball to him because I don't think he can make that shot. But I got a guy now that he can make that shot. So we misconstrue that as you weren't taking a shot at LeBron.
But then he tried to walk it back by saying, why do you guys always try to pit player against player? Well, you
did that.
You started it.
You did it.
Right. Don't kill the messengers.
Right.
That's what he's trying to do.
Right.
Right?
And it got out. Well, you didn't want to play with LeBron no more because you thought, okay, there are not very many people, stars, Skip, that say, you know what? I mean, think about it. You think Parrish or McHale would say, you know what, man, I can't play with Larry. We winning. Normally, Skip, guys that are winning, especially if you winning titles,
I got it.
You stay. I thought that was the whole thing.
And if a man says the earth is flat, I can't misconstrue that. You believe the earth is flat.
Yeah, you said that.
You said it. I didn't exaggerate or embellish it. You said the earth is flat.
It's kind of like when Charles said he was misquoted in his own autobiography. How we misquote you with what you wrote, what you said? Skip, I told you this was going to happen. I said, I give it 2 years max between him and KD. I give it 2 years.
All right. So what you did with the media was you had a great relationship. It's a way of buying insurance with the media. Maybe they'll go a little easier on you if you drop a big ball at the end of a game. Well, Kyrie buys no insurance. In fact, he does the opposite. He antagonizes them.
Right.
So does Kevin Durant. So they're both. They attack the media, and then they wonder why the media attacks back. Right?
Skip, I thought, for me, I was abundantly clear. I never got misquoted. I said what the hell I mean. I meant what the hell I said. So there was no misconstruing. You can't misconstrue what I said. You know exactly what Shannon Sharp said and exactly what he meant. I wasn't taking shots at anybody. We didn't play well. As an offense, as a wide receiver, we didn't block well enough. We didn't catch well enough. We didn't run it. We got to do better. Defensively, we got to do better. What's the misconstrue about that? Shannon, I'm saying that in order for us to win the next game, we need to play better than what we played today.
Well, good luck with the fines, because he's going to have a whole bunch of them.
I guarantee you start talking.
Yep.
And you think that you're going to parry the way you're going to be talking. Talk about everything. Kyrie, we good. Anything else? Because they'll make it cost prohibitive, Skip. But he got money. He ain't got that kind of money.
You guys, I'm in a lot of locker rooms. I always tell these pro athletes it's a part of the job. Just use it to your advantage. It's only going to help you in the long run, bottom line. But we're moving on. Currently sitting at 3-9. Could the Cowboys somehow still be in the hunt for the NFC East come up? The Clippers have gone all in on Paul George. The Clippers and George have agreed to a 4-year max extension that is worth $190 million. That locks him in alongside Kawhi Leonard, who still has another 2 years on his current deal with the Clippers. So, Shannon, how surprised were you by this extension?
Well, Skip, it makes sense for Paul George because you get long-term financial security. And I guess for the Clippers, considering what they gave up, they basically mortgaged their future. Kawhi was a free agent. You didn't have to give up anything. Kawhi came there voluntarily. But in order to get Kawhi a sidekick, you had to trade Gallinari and Gilgeous-Alexander and 4 or 5 number 1 draft picks. So basically, your future until 2026, you got no future when it comes to the draft.
Yep.
So I guess this is what you had to do, Skip. And if worse come to worse, you can trade him and try to recruit some of that back. It's very difficult to trade someone if he's about to be a free agent and he doesn't make a long-term, he's not willing to make a long-term commitment to you. So I get it on both of their parts, Paul George and Kawhi. But Skip, I'm confused. This max money should go to the top. And I get there are guys getting max money, and I get it. But Skip, when I look at Paul George in his last 5 elimination games, he's averaging 20 points, 37% field goal shooting. He has a 1-4 record. In Game 7 against Denver, he had 10 points, 4-16. Now, I know what Paul George did his first couple of years in the league, going head-to-head with LeBron in Miami with D-Wade and Bosh. I remember that. But I also remember what happened those last 2 years in Indiana. I also remember what happened when he was in OKC. When Russ dropped 45 and he hit 5. I remember that.
Russ 45 versus Donovan's 44.
Yes.
He was.
And Paul George laid an egg.
Yep.
So
he did.
And I thought, Skip, when you gave somebody that kind of money, you're banking on what they're going to be moving forward.
Yep.
What has convinced you that Paul George in the playoffs, because that's when you get that, if you give that guy that money, when are you going to be in the playoffs? I just, like I said, it makes sense for Paul George. Hell, anybody, you'd be foolish not to take that kind of money. That long, that's guaranteed.
I mean, last year it's almost $50 million.
And then no accountability. It's everybody else's fault. The way Doc was using me. Doc had me using me like I was J.J. Redick. Pin downs, all this. Bruh. Doc ain't...
By the way, did you see Doc's response on ESPN?
Yeah, I love it. I love Doc.
Yeah, and Doc was saying, wait, I was using him like I used Ray Allen. He said, Ray Allen was really good. Maybe Paul should say, thank you.
Yeah.
Right?
So who made it hit the side of that backboard? Who made it shoot 4-16? So that was Doc's fault. Remember he missed that layup. He had a point blank layup, and then he just dropped it just like, it's one of those things. I get it for Paul George. Skip, that's $226 million over the next 5 years. I get that. But for the Clippers, whew.
Okay. So, as usual, I see this completely upside down from the way you do. I was hoping that Paul George would bet on himself the way Kawhi is about to bet on himself again and have what you call a contract year, where you could play it out and become free again after this coming basketball season, right?
Right.
Kawhi is about to do that. Now, you can argue it's smart on his part. He's a little more advanced in age than Paul is.
Right.
And so he's got those bird rights where you could max out by becoming a free agent and then re-signing with the Clippers, you could make more money.
Right.
Paul had a chance right here, right now, to go big on the 4-year extension. The last year's at his option for $50 million.
Right.
So he said, I wanted security.
Right.
That speaks to who he is and who he's not, because he's like, man, I don't know. I wasn't very good.
Exactly.
He's thinking, they're going to offer me this?
Right.
I'll take it.
After the playoff, after the pandemic, P, they saw they gonna give me 190.
Or as you called him, playoff PE.
Hey guys, have you ever wondered how to stream your PS4 gameplays with Streamlabs OBS? Well, look no further as this video aims to guide you step by step so you can live stream on your favorite platforms such as YouTube, Twitch, Mixer or Facebook. And we're starting right now. Alright, so this method that I'm about to present to you is actually the easiest and the best way to stream your PS4 with Streamlabs OBS on your PC. One of the main benefits you get by using this method is that it's free, which means no expensive capture card is required. Secondly, by using this method, you will experience no game lag or input lag. This is a guarantee because you will be mainly playing directly from your PS4 while you are streaming on your PC. I will show you exactly how to do that later. And lastly, this method will be simple and easy because after setting everything up, preparing for the next stream will only take a few clicks, which takes usually less than a minute. Now let's move on with the step-by-step guide. Now, the things you need are as follows, which are Remote Play, Streamlabs OBS, an extra PSN account, and a single controller. I'll go through step by step on each of them for the setup, and we'll start with Remote Play first. Now, firstly, you would need to download the official Remote Play from Sony if you don't have it already. Now, what Remote Play does is it will directly play your PS4 gameplay onto your PC. This is needed for streaming purposes as you will be streaming on your PC with Streamlabs OBS. And don't worry as you will not experience any lag from your PS4. So you can enjoy playing your game lag-free. So after downloading and installing it, open up Remote Play and log in with your new PSN account that you had just created. For example, in my case, my main PSN account is Viberian, and I created another PSN account for streaming purposes, and logged into Remote Play with this new account. Now before linking your PS4 to Remote Play, we have to make sure that your PS4 is ready for Remote Play. So let's just jump over to the PS4 and I'll show you which setting you should set up. Alright guys, so we're all the way at the PS4 right now, and there are actually two things you need to set up in your PS4 to prepare for Remote Play. So the first of all is you have to activate your PS4 as a primary PS4, and you can do that by going all the way to your profile and choosing activate your PS4 as a primary PS4. Now the second thing you need to do is to actually enable Remote Play on your PS4. So that's pretty easy, just head all the way down and select Remote Play Connection Settings and just hit the check mark on the Remote Play side. Alright, so before I forget, do remember to log into your new PSN account by creating a new user. I've already done that, and as you can see, I've actually named it as remote play, so it's easier for me to recognize, but you can name it to whatever you like. Now once that's done, just select the new profile that you created, and now let's head to the PC side, and we are actually ready to link your remote play together with your PS4. Alright guys, so now I'm back to my PC. So since that I have remote play already installed, I just double click it, and I'll just head to settings, and at the top left here, if you have already signed in, then great, I'll just do that right now. So remember that I'm signing in with my secondary account, which is the streaming account, which is the new account that you have just created. So for this case, my PSN account for this one is called the Viper Stream, so it's actually easier for me to remember. So the resolution and all, you can just tweak it to how you like. Basically for high, if you have the base PS4, this is the best option for you, whereas if you have the PS4 Pro, then you can go all the way up to 1080p, which is the best option right here. And for the frame rate, just choose specifically depending on your internet. If you have a faster one, of course you can go for high. And then once that's done, just click OK, and the next step is to just press start. It will take slightly longer for it to connect to your PS4 if it's your first time. Now don't worry if the remote play window does not pop up immediately for you, as it is normal if this is your first time doing remote play. As long as this pop-up on the top left appeared on your PS4, then you are doing it right. Now for the final step, just take your controller and you should have noticed that it has disconnected. All you have to do is to just press the PlayStation button, and the profile selection screen should pop up on your PS4, and instead of selecting the new profile, you can select back your main profile. After you've selected your main profile, go back to your controller and press the PS button one more time, and your main profile should be logged in. And there you go, you are now able to play games with your main profile while remote play is running on your PC. Now a quick tip is to play by directly looking at your TV or wherever your PS4 is connected to as usual, as the remote play on your PC will have a slight lag and delay, so do keep that in mind. Now since that you now know how to stream your PS4 gameplay to your PC, let's finally dive into Streamlabs OBS, and it's time to bring it live to YouTube, Twitch and more. But before that, I just want to say that if you've learned something so far, do press the like and subscribe button so I'll know that you enjoy my videos, and that will encourage me to make more just like this one. Alright guys, so now we're here at Streamlabs OBS, and this is what you should see upon your first time visiting Streamlabs. And if you haven't downloaded already, I would highly recommend you to download it first. I'll put the link into the description, so check that out. So for this particular video, I won't go too in-depth or too advanced into Streamlabs OBS, because that will take another 10 minutes or so. So I'll just go through the basics and the bare essentials for you to set up your live streaming, and I'll also provide you some recommended options in the settings to give your stream the maximum amount of quality as possible. So on the bottom left here, we have scenes, we have sources, and we have mixer. So scenes are basically what type of view you want your viewers to actually see, and sources are what are actually included in them. I'll do a little bit more explanation and some example of my scenes and my resources later. So what you gotta do is, first of all, head over to sources, click on the plus sign button, head over to window capture, hit on that source. So for the name of the source, you can just add anything you want. You can just type it, let's say PS4 remote play, or you can just type it in anything you want. So now you're at window, click on the slider button and go all the way down. You should be able to see remoteplay.exe PS4 remote play. This should actually be showing all of the application that's running, and you want to choose remote play. So after selecting remote play, I would usually turn off the capture cursor, as it could get in the way of the stream sometimes. So press done, and that's about it. Basically you just have to resize your PS4 screen. So once this is actually already done, you will want to head over to the bottom left side at the settings button, Now these are some of the settings that I recommend for you to have the highest quality stream without taking too much resources from your internet. But of course, if your internet is stronger, then your settings may vary. But I would recommend, first of all, is to untick confirm stream title and game before going live, because this would actually be ticked by default. So let's move on to stream. So streaming service. So for services, I would choose whatever streaming platform that you stream on. For me, it's YouTube. I mainly stream right there. And stream key. So this is extremely important. This is the main thing that you would want to pay attention to in your settings, because this stream key will allow you to stream on whichever platform that you've chosen. And it is very careful to not let other people see your stream key. If other people know your stream key, they'll be able to stream at your platform, at your channel. So be wary of that. Now let's move on to the output. So for the output, I will change the output from simple to advanced. Now you'll be using under streaming. So under streaming, for your encoder, if you have a NVIDIA card, I would recommend choosing NVENC. The new, actually any one of them will be fine. But if you have an AMD card, this would not be shown up, and instead there will be some other options right here. So software, this is actually basically running the stream through your processor. Yeah. So you'll be able to choose whether you're gonna run through your graphic card or your processor. That's up to you, depending on the performance you get out from it. So rate control, I will choose CBR. That's actually the best option. So for bitrate, I would highly recommend you to put around 2500 if your internet is decent enough. But of course, you can go all the way to 3000 or 3500, but I would highly recommend you to stay away from 4000 or 5000 and above, as that would actually take a lot of your upload speed, unless your upload speed is, I don't know, it's around 200 300 max. So basically for the preset quality, I would choose either quality or max quality. So far I'm okay with quality, and for the profile I would just go with high. For the audio, I will just leave this as default as they are. If you have an extra mic, so feel free to add them in. And okay, as for the video, so base canvas resolution is what your base monitor output is. So for my case, it's 1080. And for the output scale resolution, this is actually what your stream would actually show to your audience. So for the output, if you have a very powerful internet and with a very powerful upload speed, I would maybe bump it up to 1080p, but that's sometimes pushing it a little bit too far. Most streamers actually stay at 1280 times 720p, as that is actually good enough. For the downscale filter, I would highly recommend to change to Lenco's Sharpen Scaling 32 samples. This is actually the best. And for the common SPS value, since I'm actually mainly streaming for PS4 games and most of them are actually capped at 30, so I'm fine with capping at 30. But of course, some games actually runs on 60 FPS, so if you want to, you can change to 60 FPS, but do take in consideration that it takes more power. And that's actually about it for the entire settings. So those are the recommended settings that I recommend to you. So let's go back to the scenes and sources. So basically, let's move on to the scenes. I will just show you guys how my stream looks like. So for my scene, I use most spells. Okay, let's load this up for a little while. Alright, so as you can see, underneath my scenes, basically my scene name is Common Spell. And you can see there's a lot of scenes right here. There's starting soon, there's a live scene, there's the intermission, there's the be right back, there's the desktop view. So basically, this